You're now live. Thank you, Facebook. Merci beaucoup, Facebook. Hey everybody. Just gonna get comfortable. Welcome. So I'm Angus Wright, and I also go by Angus by Design. And maybe you're returning and you already knew that, and you keep asking yourself, why the hell does this guy keep saying, I'm Angus Wright, and I also go by Angus by Design? Good question. Maybe it will get answered. So, this is something that I call the Dharma Talks, and it's an activity where I journal out loud. As a participant of social media, including and especially this platform, please be mindful that this space is the intellectual property registered to me, Angus Wright, Angus by Design, and I'm registered as a mixed media performance artist. I'm also celebrating nearly 10 years as a long-form improvisational performer and comedian. And I use the mantra, all rights preserved. It's very important to me. So thanks everybody. So I am doing a personal practice, which I've done for years. And, it borrows from this and it borrows from that, and it's a collection of all of these things and all of those things. But this particular one, where we are right here, right now, Friday, January the 2nd at 11:55 a.m. My belly's hungry, but I'm already 2.5 minutes in. My goal is to go over the points of an article that I wrote 365 days ago. And I'm going to throw it out there to you, the universe, the jury of my peers, my complaint department, the place where I get unsolicited feedback at 1,000 miles an hour, and see what sticks. So welcome. Now you know where you are. Now you know who I am. Now you know what I'm doing. You'll find it housed on my YouTube channel, which is strangely called Angus by Design. And there's a couple of them. If you need the direct links, let me know. Or follow your nose. Scroll back to school yourself. Do whatever you gotta do. Whew. Why does it feel like I have so much to say? Well, because I do, always. But let me focus. Last year, I wrote an article, and as part of a daily practice. It was part of what I call my daily maintenance plan. It's something that I do for me. And then I offered it out there to people that hang out with me and or practice with me or share the same interests. I am currently seeking a circle of practice, a community of practice, people who want to do what I want to do, people who want to do this. So if you do articles, if any of this resonates with you, please let me know. I need friends. I need friends who want to do these things. Oh man, I sound so pathetic. Or maybe I'm just dramatic, right? Any snooch. All that aside, I'm gonna basically read the parts of the article. I'm gonna review the parts that led me to the article, that influenced it. I'm gonna share my words of affirmation and encouragement inspired by that pathway. I'm gonna basically give a brief definition of the words conscious and unconscious in a part that I call the importance of language and meaning. And I'll read a bunch of hashtags because I love me a pound sign, I love me a number sign, I love me a hashtag. And then I have a bunch of prompts, 12 prompts to be exact, and I'm gonna see how fast I can share them. I'm gonna see if I can do all this within 15 minutes that's left. I don't know. If I go over, I go over. I'm okay with that. Why? Because this is my place on the internet, and I'm only using my time here. You might be on a toilet. You might be. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to start with a big breath. I just read a chapter of this book, so I'm all. Fear, pursuit of pleasure, freedoms from the known, the chatter, the matter, and the path. Angus Wright. Angus by Design. Originally written January 2nd, 2025. In my community of practice, we choose Thursday to affirm our bravery in exploring creative expressions while we practice non-judgement and risk-taking to learn from others and affirm their strengths too. I am a man. I am Canadian. My mental, emotional, physical, sexual, and spiritual health matters today. Just for today, I will not worry about anger, as it's often more reflective of worry than threat. I choose loving kindness. And that's my name, Angus, with my pronouns they, he. And what I consider a spiritual name of mine and a non-binary name of mine, which is spelled Aonghas, which oddly enough is pronounced Angus. So an overview of what my practice was last year was listening to this week's podcast from ramdas.org. And at that time it was Krishnamurti, Freedom from the Known podcast, episode 6, Fear and the Pursuit of Pleasure. I shared my words of affirmation and encouragement inspired by Krishnamurti. I explored the importance of language and meaning. So I looked at conscious versus unconscious, and then there was an invitation for people to share. And so the inspirational quote from my practice by Krishnamurti is, "Fear is a dreadful thing. It darkens the world. It destroys everything. I don't think we can discuss fear without also discussing the pursuit of pleasure." And that's Krishnamurti. My words of affirmation and encouragement inspired by Krishnamurti. I feel the connections between fear and pleasure and choose to navigate them with love and ease. I am a combination of conscious and unconscious fears, and I love the awareness that comes from soothing my needs as they arise. I choose to rise above division, separation, and competition, and I focus on our international global, and universal ability to connect and stay connected in love. I know when I focus on truth and experience, I can honor our ability to heal among challenges. I am me. I am secure in being my best expert. I'm here now. I love every thought, feeling, emotion I experience, bad and good. And I am thankful for the vast spectrum of emotions, feelings, and experiences. I can let go of unhelpful thoughts and emotions safely in order to observe my experiences without being impacted by the memory. I am transforming fear into passion and love. And so my invitation is to note any personal words of affirmation, encouragement, or inspiration that you may have had. And if you kind of want to know a bit more about why these things are important to me, I can send you an article called The Importance of Language and Meaning. And it comes from a system called Wellness Recovery Action Planning. That system, the books, the PhD, all belong to Mary Ellen Copeland. She is one of probably, I don't know, I can't count. But she's a person who, in her own experience, way back in the day, she was like, no, I don't accept being told there's nothing I can do. My mom is amazing, and I saw her do amazing things, and I am partly that, right? I'm not quoting verbatim here. I'm giving you the essence of what I see Mary Ellen doing back then. She put out a questionnaire. She asked people what their experience was, and that thing has snowballed into a great model for mutuality and self-determination, and not putting our stank on other people's stink, right? Those are my words. Here are some words of language and meaning. First one being conscious. So the idea of conscious is we are aware of and responding to one's surroundings. So we're awake. Okay? So other words associated would be aware, awake, wide awake, cosmos mentis. That's pretty cool. Alert, responsive, reactive, feeling, sentient, aware of, alive to, awake to, alert to, sensitive to, cognizant of, mindful of, sensible of, wise to, in the know about, hip to, aware of, seized of, and recognizant of? Recognizant of. There we go. See what I did? I hashtagged my own thing and threw my own self off. So recognizant of. I'm recognizant of my inability to put those words together very easily. Unconscious, which generally means not conscious. So that's the part of the mind also which is inaccessible to the conscious mind, but which affects behavior and emotions. So remember, this is a human experience, right? We all have a conscious and unconscious, and we all access them in different ways. So unconscious could be knocked out, insensible, senseless, insentient, insensate, passed out, comatose, in a coma, inert, stunned, dazed, stupefied, torpid, befuddled, benumbed, numb, collapsed, keeled over, motionless, immobile, prostrate, not prostate, out cold, out for the count, blacked out, KO'd, KO'd, out like a light, laid out, flaked out, dead to the world, spark out, and soparose. So consider sharing in your own words what resonated with you about my practice a year ago by commenting, emoting, or using the chat box or comment section, and even by taking any special notes for yourself. And so the question is, what did you, do you, or will you need to feel or be safe in providing feedback or participating in this space, in this experience? So this may be on Facebook, this may be on YouTube if you see it later, it may be in a group or a meeting, who knows? Could be a courtroom. Hell if I know. But what is it that you suppose you would need? And then how would you answer the following reflective prompts? So I'm going to read the 12 prompts, and then I seem to have 3 minutes, and I'll respond to them. And then I will wrap it up with a couple more questions and a couple more details, okay? So, I am connecting because if I had words of encouragement to give myself and others today, I'd say, my self-care goals, checklists, and activities for today include the most challenging part of practicing today is something I appreciated about practicing today is a quote I would like to share is affirmations I would like to share are I think, I feel, I can statements I'd like to share include I'm so thankful for songs that inspire me include follow up I may need support with includes and something I'd like to share is. So I'm connecting because I love social media. I think I'm a friggin' pretty bird. I've been on community television, and anytime I can get in front of a camera, my God, I'm there. If I had words of encouragement to give myself and others today, I'd say, if it's for you, and it is, this is a consumer service that Facebook provides. You signed up an account, friggin' use it. Same with YouTube. Go follow your nose, see what you got there. Get your voice out there. Who cares if it's, good, bad, or ugly? It's all practice. It all contributes to the same thing. Yeah, it's humiliating. Yeah, it's vulnerable. But hey, who cares? That's what life is like sometimes. Those are my words of encouragement. Those are what I'm giving myself. If you resonate with those words, fantastic. My self-care goals, checklists, and activities for today include, well, I have an appointment this afternoon that I'm not looking forward to, so I'm going to do some self-care. I'm going to make sure I've got some food in my belly. I'm going to make sure I research the crap out of anything that I think I'm thinking about it, and I'm going to ask questions like a good boy should. I'm going to walk my dog. It's sunny out. I'm going to see if I can go for a longer walk with Shiver Me Timbers. I'm going to wrestle him into a coat. He hates that. But if I can get him around people, he loves that. So it balances out. The most challenging part of practicing today is I am Angus. I'm here. I'm Angus by design. And really, on most days, that's more than I can handle. So If I can just be peaceful today, I will be kicking ass. Something I appreciated about practicing today is that I took the time last year to do this. I took the time to bring it to a community because nothing lasts forever, apparently. My heart was broken in October, and it has remained open and broken since. And every day I try to find a solution for it. And I have found solutions every day since, but it really hurts, and I'm still reeling from how used I feel. So I really appreciate that I have this practice and that I have proof that I'm continuing to adjust and adapt it and to do what I need before I even leave the sanctity of my own wellness. A quote I'd like to share is butchered by Maya Angelou, but it's something along the lines of, people won't remember what you said, they'll remember how they made you feel. Or they'll remember how you made them feel. Keyword there being people. And affirmations, I probably have more of those down below. I already did the I think I feel. I'm very thankful for this time. It's 21 minutes over. I'm going to try to fire off the rest of this. Songs that inspire me are down below, so I'll just use up that. Follow-up I may need support with includes, I could use an A-team of people. I need 5 supporters who want to do things like I want to do, and who want to be 5 individual people who want to do it, and want to do it out of love. I think if I had 5 people on a team doing this, I think that we would go far. I used to have 3. I had extra in my mind, but unfortunately the world seems to run on money. Money and patience. So I'll wait. Something I'd like to share is, I love me, I love you, I love it, and I love life. So again, my original inspiration for this was Krishnamurti and a podcast that was called Fear and the Pursuit of Pleasure. A song I brought for inspiration was Bonnie Tyler, and it's a song called Yes I Can. I shared 2 postings from the Nature of the Tao Te Ching, and I shared a song by an artist named Abel Hart, All I Need Is Me, and the Struts, Can't Stop Talking. That complete practice I put together was 71 minutes and 36 seconds, and I shared that with the community at the time because I thought if they resonated with that, they could have free 71 minutes and 36 seconds of support. So, may I be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May we be peaceful and at ease, and may all be happy. And that's another quote I put. I love the history behind the words just for today as it relates to Reiki's journey to the West and the deep roots of Alcoholic Anonymous's or AA's 12 steps and our complex community of peers in recovery. Thank you for the people behind the platform who keep connecting humans with humanity. And those were quotes by me. The time on freedom from the known, they were talking about things like the connection of fear and pleasure, consciousness and unconscious fears, the necessity of security for an individual and for humanity, how national division has destroyed our physical security, fear of public opinion and judgment from others, self-identification and the fear of non-being, and how thought produces fear. Observing without the interference of thought, the transformation of fear. And fear is a dreadful thing. It darkens the world. It destroys everything. I don't think we can discuss fear without also discussing the pursuit of pleasure. And that's J. Krishnamurti. And it was a talk that was originally recorded in 1974 at San Diego State University, and it was curated by the Krishnamurti Foundation of America. And so I'm going to take the extra time because these things are important to me and these folks are important to me. So a year ago, I shared the nature and the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, verse number 10 of 81 that was produced by Dana C. White, PhD, and Jonathan Staggers, who is known as the voice of the Tao. And so number 10 was chatter. The noisiest voice is the chatter of the 10,000 things. One who is wise sees through the clutter, cleansing his perceptions by using all his senses to sharpen the skills to unravel the tangles of the wandering mind. He doesn't quiet tensions between the many and the one. Rather, he listens as a supple newborn. The sage is at home wherever the path takes him, mindful that place and permanence are illusions the mind creates to process change. One who loves serves humanity by keeping the path fresh and remaining steadfast and loyal to the Tao as a mother bird to her nests. The sage overcomes the bias of species, gender, and self, dissolving all polarities into the still point of the here and now. Relentlessly pursuing simplicity, he creates without effort or expectation, producing results without taking possession, serving without need for validation or credit, guided by that which yields virtue, and the Tao is invisible, ever present in everything. The other verse I shared was verse number 1 of 84 of the Tao Te Ching, in what's called the nature and the wisdom of the Tao Te Ching, the works of Dana C. White, PhD, and the voice of Jonathan Staggers. Verse 1, the path. A path can be walked, I already pooped it up. A path that can be walked is not the Tao. It is not the way. A name that can be named is not the name. It is not the Tao. The Tao is both named and nameless. The nameless originates heaven and earth. The beginning of all that is. The named mothers the 10,000 things. A mind freed from thought and desires can see the mysteries, reflected only by its own perceptions. The mind mirrors the forms of existence, merging within itself and connecting to all that is. The mind beholds both the essence of the Tao and its manifestations, arising from the same source. Tao and existence may appear different, but in truth, it is only the human mind that separates itself from the whole, from which it bestows names upon the nameless. The Tao is truth within the truth, the being inside all existence, the way beneath all directions. So that has been 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up by saying thank you for paying attention. And I'm going to thank me for being and taking attention, because I look forward to looking at this next year or anytime I need to. All right, everyone. May you be filled with loving kindness.